Man, does it feel good to win again. All right, and welcome back to Phins Football Podcast. Again, I am B Trill, and this is Victory Tuesday. How does that sound? We actually won a primetime game. So, man, the stats have not been good for Tua. As you see, I kept seeing everything scroll across the bottom in the pregame saying how bad our stats were on Monday nights, on pregame, or on primetime games. But thank you, everybody, for coming back. And if this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe. Everybody, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up and like. And why don't we try something new? How about we start commenting on these videos? I get few comments, but let's go ahead and get a conversation going. What do you think will happen with Miami the rest of the season? I know, of course, the odds are against us. But if you look, we did get a lot of help this weekend. So a lot of teams that are above us in the AFC conference, they lost. So we, by winning, made the odds a lot better. I think it went from like 3% to 13% to make the playoffs. But again, we still have a chance. So I do like the odds getting better. We can go over the schedule in a little bit for the remainder. But let's dive into episode 20. So we got big 2-0 episode. Of course, it was week 10. We went ahead and defeated the LA Rams in Los Angeles. So we went on that big, huge road trip across country and won on Monday night in away stadium. So I know we do own the Rams. I think we won the last 6 in a row now against the Rams. I have seen at least one of those in LA, so that was nice to see again. But yeah, Miami got a huge win. Of course, now we're only 3-6. We're working our way back to that 500%, that halfway on the season. We want to get halfway back to those wins. So we need 3 more wins. Luckily, again, we'll go over the schedule. We got some up and down games coming up. But first, I want to dive into a few different things. I'm going to be going over some game notes. I'm going to be going over some stats. But if you saw my short before the game, some big news. We had Austin Jackson hitting the IR. We did have Kendall Lamb take over, which was big because he actually played decent. He played well. We saw Robert Jones get hurt and Lester Cotton just look lost out there. Liam Eichenberg looked lost out there as well. So I'll kind of dive into some game notes, I guess, first. So again, they're kind of all over the place. I kind of was just jotting down notes as I was going through the Monday night game, but it was a high tempo game, so I was kind of catching up during commercials. But I actually brought out the projector for this game, so maybe that's a good luck charm. I put the projector up. I had my daughter and her friend over, and we went ahead and watched the game on the big screen on the projector. So I'll have to keep doing that. But without wasting time, let's go ahead and dive into this huge win. So again, we beat the LA Rams. It was tough. We were winning, but again, we had to keep the lead and hold the lead and not lose it like we have been doing. So good stuff. First thing, that first drive. We need to keep that up. The fact that we scored in the first 3 minutes of the game on the first drive, that tempo, keeping it up, having that game plan, having that plan, having the play selection as well to start the game off. So kudos to everyone on the Dolphins offense to keep the ball moving. Of course, Tua looked great. But it was that Malik Washington touchdown on the end around. So he's fast. He's explosive. Keep it going. That's his first NFL touchdown. I don't think it's going to be his last. Probably not the last this season. So we need to utilize him. You saw him show up a little bit as our third wideout. We saw River Craycraft come back. I don't think he had any catches, though. We'll go over stats. But OBJ, he had some catches. So we'll go over a lot of everything. So first thing in, first drive, that was beautiful. Brewer actually had a great block on that end-around touchdown, as well as River Craycraft. So kudos to them on the blocking to get that touchdown. But again, great play call. So that was in the red zone, got a touchdown. Calais Campbell, always making big plays. So he had a sack and 2 batted passes. He had one, I think, on the first defensive drive. Welcome back, Sealer. So you saw the players that contributed on our defense that welcome back. So we have Zach Steeler, played phenomenal. Cater Kohu, playing phenomenal. Javon Holland, playing great. So again, all the playmakers, all the big names on defense, we're starting to get them back. Of course, Cater Kohu, he's our secret weapon. But I do want to talk about Chop Robinson. He has been getting the pressures, and he's finally getting to the quarterback. So it's taking a little bit, but back-to-back games with sacks. So let's go Chop. We got to finally see that celebration. I know the last time it wasn't on TV, but I love the one shot where you see Javon Holland all the way in the background. You saw Agba. You saw everybody around him doing the Chop celebration. So that was just really good. I like that. I don't think the last we're going to see that. So again, our rookies are really showing up. Again, Chop is just doing great. It was a great swim move inside. It was just great off the jump. It was, as soon as the snap happens, he was beyond the offensive lineman. So keep it up, Chop. Walker with that big pick, but it only led to 3 because Waddle had a very depressing drop. Of course, he did start off the game with 2 big catches. I think, 50 yards plus on that first drive. But that that drop, man, that could have been a huge gain. Could have been a first down, but of course it did lead to 3 off the interception. HN did have a big 15-yard run on that drive, so he did show the speed through that hole. Keep it up. Tua's pick was just terrible. It was off his back foot, and we keep seeing it. It scared everybody on the return. Tua, if you throw a pick, get out the way. Don't try to make a tackle. And it was worse because he dove with his head leading first, and the knee hit his head. It did look like for a minute that he did black out. I hope not. He looked okay. He stayed in the game. I don't even think he went to the blue tent. But Tua, stay healthy. Stay out the way. Stop running head first. Stop trying to make tackles. Let everybody else do that. If you gave up a pick 6, oh well. We need you healthy. But, of course, we got the win. So the pick did not cost us that much. I think. Oh, very next play, that's right. It was a fumble that Miami got, so Miami got very lucky on that fumble. The ball started to move, but it wasn't completely out of his possession, so we did kind of get lucky with that the ball was moving. Eichenberg getting thrown around with the tackle for loss on that HN run by Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown, he was a problem for Eichenberg early on. So Campbell had a big sack on third down that forced a punt. So again, Calais Campbell was playing out of his mind. He's 38, my age, and dominating. So I love it. I wish he was 10 years younger. Then again, so do I. Kendall Fuller had a huge hit before he went out with a concussion. Not on the same play, but he had a big hit. I think that was at the line of scrimmage, or it was just, it was big. He came out of nowhere full force and made a big hit. I just had to make note of that. Defense held the Rams to 3. It was 10-3 after giving up that fumble. So that was pretty good. Bend don't break on the defense. Quentin Bell. He had that huge sack. Strip sack, the ball got loose. It did slow them down before the half because they were eating us up in the middle. We did give up 3 points, so we ended the half going in 10-3. But I think Quentin Bell had a lot to do with stopping that drive because, again, we only gave up a field goal. They were just moving down the field. But Tua has to get rid of the ball. He rolled out and took that huge sack. I think it was like 25 yards, and it made it. No, I think it was 25 yards. No, because it was 3rd and 20, so it was like a 15-yard sack. But then we did that screen play that led to the punt. So Tua, that was the drive before half, and then before we gave it to the Rams. So, again, my notes are out of order there. But Quentin Bell, man, he was looking phenomenal. Lester Cotton, again, he looked terrible. Fuller, again, he went to the locker room. Kendall Fuller, he has a concussion. So, he just got back from concussion protocol. Looks like he's going back in it. So, we keep grabbing these free agents that just cannot stay healthy. We need to stay healthy. If we want to get another one of these Super Bowls. So I had to show off the jacket and, the polo. I always stay decked out. I mean, yeah. Always. From head to toe, I got the shoe game, too. But enough about that. We need free agents that can stay healthy. I don't like that we keep grabbing these guys that can't stay healthy. Knock on the door of Isaiah Wynn. Haven't seen you yet this season. So I don't know why we re-signed him. But again, we got Jonnu Smith has been a huge contributor to our offense these past few weeks. He had a big catch and run for 33. When he broke that tackle, spun, and then like 2 defenders hit him, he kind of just stuttered and then kept it moving. We need that. He is quick. He is explosive. He can break tackles. Keep it going. Great touchdown by Hill again. That was off the Jonnu Smith down to the 1. Then we did the play action. 7 games with no touchdowns for Tyreek Hill. I'm glad we finally snapped that. Let's get him back in motion now that we have Tua back. That wrestling celebration. Tyreek, come on, man. You have a wrist injury. He even said he's never celebrating with OBJ again. That was so physical. They did the wrestling move, jumped back, and then they went to lock arms, and it was terrible. Please don't do that. I understand the celebration, but don't risk injury. We already learned from Preston Williams and Christian Wilkins that we get injured during celebration. Let's not do that. Holland had that huge sack at the end of the 3rd, held the Rams to another field goal. Again, we gave up 5 field goals. 0 on the touchdown. So that was huge. I think Bobby Brown should have been ejected off that headbutt on Eichenberg, but whatever, it caused a penalty. It kept our drive moving. But the sacks on Tua, he needs to get rid of the ball. Finally, he did that spin move, avoided the pass rusher, and then just lobbed it over to Mostert for the first down, gain of 25, which got us into field goal range. Tua had a very nice no-look behind-the-back toss on an end around to Waddle. But, of course, we didn't get much yardage off of that. So I like Tua's confidence. He's doing these no-look passes, behind-the-back passes, shovel passes. He has confidence. He's almost looking like Patrick Mahomes out there. He's not, but he's getting there. So, again, we made a field goal. We went up 20-9, up with 11 minutes to go, or up by 11 with 9 minutes to go in the half. Kader Kohu, he scared me with that injury, but luckily he came back in. Neal gave up a pass when Kader was out, and then Kader came back in. We had busted coverage, which almost gave up a touchdown to Kyron Williams, but luckily Stafford overthrew him. They settled for the 3 with 6:30 to go. We're up 20-12. I said we need to run the ball with Wright. We did a little bit. He just didn't get much yards. OBJ had that big 3rd down catch where he was celebrating. I love that. Keep that going. Beautiful pass to Washington. I think almost Tua's best pass where he just fit it in the window on that very last drive. So Beautiful pass to Washington. Keep that going, Tua. We went up with another field goal to go up 23-12 with 2:38 to remain. Sealer had a great bat down ball. We have missed him. I don't know what the wet willy was with Kyrie Williams when he put his finger in Gator Kohu's ear, his ear hole in his helmet. That was just weird. But with that, Miami did win. We're now in 10th place. So again, with the remaining of the schedule, we're in 10th place. We're a game and a half back. I'm going to go over everything, but we have 8 games remaining. 4 at home, 4 away. We face, first, we go against the Patriots and then the Jets. Then we have Packers on Thanksgiving. They are 6-3. Our tough games are Packers 6-3, Texans 6-4, San Fran 5-4, but then the rest is the Pats 3-7, Jets 3-7, Browns 2-7. So we got 2 more primetime games left. Thanksgiving and the game against Cleveland at Cleveland on Sunday night, December 29th. That might be a snow game. So Miami it was the only football team to actually win in the state of Florida. Look up that stat. I kind of need to go over the stats with the time remaining. Kind of got a lost track of time with my game notes. So I'll run through the box score real quick. Tua, only 8 incompletions. I like that. Keep that going. He was 20 of 28, 207, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, of course, touchdown to Tyreek. Rushing, Devon Achane only had 12 rushes for 37 yards, 3.1 average. We weren't running the ball very well. Malik Washington had that 1 end-around, touchdown for 18 yards. Tyreek Hill, he took 2 end-arounds for 11 yards. Longest was 6 yards. Jalen Wright, only 5 carries, 3 yards. That's not good. 0.6 average. Tua, 1 run, -1. Jalen Waddle, that 1 end around, -1. That was that behind the back, no look. But receiving, Jalen Waddle led us. 3 catches, 57 yards. 36 was his long. Jonnu Smith, 3 catches, 45 yards, 15 average, 33 was the long. Raheem Mostert, 2 for 34, 25 was his long. Malik Washington, that 1 beautiful pass and catch, 17 yards. OBJ, he did have 2 more, 17 yards, 11 was his long. Tyreek, only 3 catches, 16 yards, 12 was his long. We got to get him more involved, man. That 3 catches, 16 yards, that's not good. He got the 1 touchdown, but still. Devon Achane, 5 catches, most receptions, only 15 yards. A lot of screens, a lot of dumps. Durham Smythe, 1 catch, 6 yards, and let's see. Julian Hill was targeted once. So on defense, we had a couple tackles for loss. We had Jordan Brooks, Zach Sealer, Calais Campbell, Deshaun Hand, Quentin Bell, Chop. Of course, Chop had 2 QB hits with that sack. Quentin Bell had a sack. Calais Campbell had a sack. Javon Holland had a sack. And then we had Walker with the pick. So those are the stats for Miami. Again, with the remaining schedule, Miami has a chance. We're a game and a half behind. And with that, above us, we have Kansas City has the 1 seed. Buffalo has a 2 seed. Pittsburgh 3. Houston 4. Baltimore kind of has it locked with the wild card at 7-3. But Chargers 6-3. Denver 5-5. Denver has lost, I think, 2 in a row? Let me see here. Denver's lost 2 in a row so far. If they keep losing, that 7 seed opens up. The Colts are in the 8th seed at 4-6. So we're only, a half a game behind them? They've lost 3 in a row. The Bengals are 4-6. They've lost 1 game. 1 game. Not in a row. I was going to say in a row. But again, we're 3-6. We're a half a game behind the teams in front of us, but we're a game and a half behind the 7th seed. Miami's got a great chance to actually come back and make a playoff appearance. Right now, I do want to go over our remaining schedule real quick. We have home to the Raiders, home to the Patriots, at Green Bay, home to the Jets, at Houston, home to the Niners, at the Browns, and then at New York to end the season. So I think we got a chance. Miami, keep it going. It starts with Vegas next week, bringing it home. So keep the playoff alive. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please let me get a like. Please subscribe. Keep tuning in. And as always, fins up, family.